Okay.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So we're going to give you, OSSPEAC, our ideas about how you could utilize one of these very important products we've been using internally for our franchise network for now what, gosh, a year? Over a year.
Yeah,
Uh,
more than a year.
and we we have several what we call exclusive clients that we work with in which we've implemented the CRM. And we're just beginning to be a little bit more active in marketing because we realize that there's so many businesses out there that we work with that could greatly benefit from the functionality that we're going to show you here today. And then you can decide how you want to proceed. So the link I sent you, let me share my screen. The link I sent you goes to, I'm going to share my sound too. Yeah, the link I sent you goes to this website. And what I want to point out to you here are a couple of things that's going to be some features you want to at least review for yourselves. One of them is the missed call text back feature, which you can test by just clicking here. Or you can just go here under products, missed call text back. And it actually gives you a little video and tells you what this is all about. But when you click on this link and you hang up after our voice attendant will answer, you can hang up. You'll get a text message from us which says, "Hey, sorry we missed your call. How do you like our demo?" So it's a demo number. So that's a nice feature for a lot of businesses. But then something else to look at is this little link up here, and I apologize for the size of the little links. Yash, maybe we should make these a little bigger. I don't know. But when you click on that, this shows you what we really like to emphasize is, so I don't know if you've realized, or we've told you, we're a franchise now. So we have 4 stores, and in working with our network of other stores in trying to attract their local businesses to what they do, they need to have the functionality of a CRM. But what we've always been frustrated with was all these different applications that were spread out all over. I mean, I think you mentioned you use MailChimp. You're tracking customers through Ninja Form, really, in Excel. So we're going to show you an upgrade from that through what we can do here. But what I think is really cool is if you look at all of these logos, you'll recognize some of these. Maybe you've used them in the past. But if you were to buy all these different types of solutions, you'd have the same thing that we have at Click It Premium, all included, all in one. All right. So those are 2 things that you want to look at, and you can read all about it. We have some testimonials and things like that. It's probably not the most current, unfortunately, but we'll get to it. All right, so a demo. Let's give you a demo and give you some of our ideas about what we're thinking, what I've been thinking about. I don't know, Yash, you probably have a lot of thoughts too. But so on your website, you've got people coming in here to join or renew your membership, right? You've got a form down here. You either pay by credit card, pay with check. This all works fine, I know. But what I think where you get into trouble is new memberships, perhaps, even old. So they fill out all this information and they hit submit. And Ellen, it goes to your PayPal and you get paid. The information is stored in the back end of the Ninja form, and that information is then moved at one point, I guess, in combination with other records to an Excel spreadsheet, and you're working with that. Okay, so we're going to show you a better way. Just let's keep it simple, right? Something as simple as your membership renewal or new memberships. So what I would suggest is that we use the CRM similar to, let me get to Yasha saying,
Yeah, Sugar Falls.
Sugar Falls. I don't think we're showing how we're doing. Oh, and what you're seeing here, I'll explain every aspect of, maybe I'll just go through every aspect of the CRM and what it does. But it does allow you also to really manage your funnel, your sales funnel in a lot of people's language. In your business, it's probably your membership funnel.
Pages.
You know, at what stage. So each one of these columns is a stage, and people can be moved through these different stages. And when you move them through one stage to another, it can trigger an email or a text message, which is awesome, right? So we use this a lot. In order for this to trigger a text message or an email, you would have to build a workflow. So under automations here, you would have these workflows. We have a few workflows that we use typically with our franchise stores. So, and I just moved somebody, I'm assuming that didn't trigger anything, but it could have. So let me just talk about the left column here for a minute here. You have your launch pad, which is essentially all the different integrations that you can do with the CRM. If you're tracking your billing, for instance, through using QuickBooks, it can be tracked here. You can, your Google reviews, Google and in general, Google My Business is tracked here. Your billing, I know you're using PayPal. This uses.
We use Stripe. We
Oh,
use Stripe.
Then that integration can happen very quickly and easily right here through Stripe. So, okay, so that's the Launchpad. Your dashboard just sort of gives you an overview. This is probably not going to be all that meaningful as maybe some of our other sites. I mean, just to show you some examples, I'm going to go and click at franchise. I'm so geared on this just to show you. I mean, there's a lot more information here, you know, new, in our case, we have a funnel where we're receiving prospective franchise owners. So it's a lead, and then the lead makes an appointment, and then we make some initial contact, and then we have a get acquainted call. And so this is the funnel. And that's how we organize it. And every time they move to a different column in this funnel, in this case rows, but column when you look at it from an opportunity standpoint, they get triggered into a workflow. So probably a lot more complex than you need, but just as long as you understand how, you know, CRMs work, it's a lot about automation and making your jobs a lot simpler, where you're not constantly repeating yourself with the same messaging, the same work every time you get a new member. So you get a new member, you send out their member packet. Well, that's an email. You send out a hello message. That might be a text message. Hey, so glad you joined us. Looking forward to seeing you at our next conference. Whoa, we lost Ellen.
That's okay. I'm still here.
Oh, okay, good. So you get it, right? Workflows, how that works. This CRM gives you so much capability in that regard. So now contacts. Now, what I would suggest we do with you all is take all of the contacts that you have, and we can define them through this tagging technique where we say whether they're a member, prospective member, just a contact. It could be a vendor. I think we use, in this case, I don't have vendors, but sometimes I'll have vendors. So you can categorize people and the contact information about them any way you want. It's a lot.
Now, Al, is there a limit to the number that you can have on there?
No, we're not HubSpot.
Okay. Because we do some work with a state list that has almost 9,000 people on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This list has, well, this is a small list. I have Oh, one of our lists. How big is value forklifts is up there? But yeah, there is no limit whatsoever.
Cartronics has, I think, 12,000 contacts.
Yeah, that's one of our exclusive clients using this CRM. So yeah, so contacts. So now this is the list of contacts. You can do a number of things up here in this menu, such as export. What I would do is take your list out of the Excel spreadsheet and import. It's really easy to map your imported, your fields. If you have any custom fields, Ellen, and I know you do,
Yeah,
custom fields get created simply by going down. Why am I missing the bottom of this form? Down here is settings. So in settings, you have your custom fields. And you can also set custom values, but there's very simple to do.
now, Al, is this a form that you can create that people fill out? And then,
Right.
like, because we do have the data that we have on that big list just contains a name and an email ad. No, it doesn't. Some of it depends on what he sent. Sometimes it's just an email address. Sometimes there's not even a name associated. Now, the last one he sent me did have names, but that's not always that way.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the contact card. So think of it as just, so let me go back to contacts. So I'm going out of settings, back to contacts under here, under contacts. I'm going to click on the contact card. You'll find that there's 3 columns here. Now I can tell you what these 3 columns means, but you can have a first name, a last name, an email address. And if you have nothing else, it just will be blank. Like right here,
Okay.
referrals blank. It just won't fill in the field with any information because you don't have that information. So these 3 columns are really your fields columns, all the filled information. And in this case, this being the franchise, we put people through a test. We ask them a lot of questions. It's really hard to qualify people who are going to own a franchise. And so we have a lot of questions. And then we score them. This middle column is all the correspondence that goes on between us, from text messages to emails to, so here's like the first message. Thank you very much for your interest. And this is all automatically generated. The minute they came into the funnel through an outside source, it gets triggered. And this, in this particular case, it's the first column, and they get a series of emails and text messages. So I really don't touch any of this. I watch over it as it's progressing to see if they're filling out what we're asking them to do. And if they're not, then they just keep on getting more messages from us until they do. We also can record phone calls. So in this case, we have Roy here, who's our sales ambassador. So he'll make a call. And here, I think he's confirming an appointment.
Oh, hey, Dustin, this is how are you?
But Al, this is a form that somebody fills out somewhere.
Okay, let's get to the forms because I know that's
okay.
important. Yes. So in the case of the franchise, we have a form on several sites. They fill it out and then they get entered into the funnel. So how you do forms and what were forms under here.
Basically, we have 2 options here, particularly for OSSPEAC. We can just keep the Ninja form and configure it and connect it to the CRM directly.
And
Or
we use a product called Zapier.
yeah. Why I'm suggesting that? Because they have a calculation functionality and, you know, some conditional logics and all that stuff.
Correct.
So, normally we would build, if you want to build a form from the CRM, you can do it up here.
Go to the sites.
Oh, sites. I always get that confused. Right here under forms. So this is how you build the forms. And they have they have some templates of forms, and you can just choose a template, makes it look prettier and whatever. And so you don't have to be doing anything too fancy to build a form. There's all sorts of examples of forms here. But yeah, Yash is right. Probably the best bet. See our lead funnel here, best bet for you. Let me complete my thought. The best bet for you would be, why reinvent the wheel? You got forms, they work, they're integrated in with your website. So all we would have to do is write, and Zapier, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Zapier, but I'll just show you really quick. Of course, I didn't go there in this browser lately. Zapier allows you to integrate multiple functional apps so that they communicate to each other. So Ninja Form has a Zap, they call them Zaps, and Lead Connector has a Zap. So we would simply just marry the two, and we have our and then we have the fields being filled out in the CRM. And you know what that would also do, Yash? It doesn't lose their current capabilities at all. You know, they could still go back into the Ninja Form results.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is
In
awesome.
that way, we can keep all the submissions in two different, platforms. One is in the CRM, and you can double check in your own website as well, Ninja Form submissions. But once we get all the contacts, transferred to the CRM, you will use the actual benefit of the CRM with the automations and, some workflows, number of things you can do, and you can create some automations there to, get proper responses.
So I just want to show you the one for Ninja Form.
Yeah, search for it.
Ninja Forms. See that, Ellen?
Yes.
There's Ninja Forms, and then we're gonna zap that with Lead Connector.
Yeah, there, second number.
This is ours. So now the two, and then what we have to do is we just have to map the fields for each form, it might take us an hour or two, but once it's done, it's done. I don't know, how long do you think, Yash? An hour or two, is that fair? I'm just throwing that out. How long does it
Depends
take?
on the number of forms, like how many forms.
And when that changes every year, do you have to go through that process again?
Yeah,
Okay.
in this particular platform, Zapier, just to connect your Ninja Form to the CRM.
Okay.
You may find, though, using the form builder, where did it go? I was working with the form builder back here, right?
Yeah, here it is.
So working with this form builder, you'll find it so easy, Ellen. Like for instance, this is our biz buy sell submission form. So that's an advertiser for us. It's a way we get people into our funnel. We advertise on biz buy sell. So you got your names. Here's how you make the changes. The form itself, the form builder, I find it extremely friendly and easy to use. You can add.
Now, can you do calculations and all that stuff in this form builder?
Well, Yash, I don't think we've done any calculations in this form builder yet. That's why Yash is suggesting we just keep Ninja Form and then we use Zapier to do the feed into the CRM.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. It's a good stepping stone. And then from there we could say, okay, should we convert? This is what we've done, like for our businesses. We've sort of started that way. Hey, we've been using Ninja Form for so long. Let's just do the Zap. And then we're migrating slowly into building some new forms. Because I don't know if you all know this, but we have in our stores, we have a lot of forms. And this is just the beginning of it. I'm not even logged in. There's a form for everything. So we're very familiar with forms, right, Yash? We do forms like.
Definitely.
All right. So let's get back to just describing all the features of the CRM. Is that good?
Yep.
I'm going to go back. Might yell at me. No, it didn't. All right. So contacts. Very important piece of this for you all, because you'll be able to track, and I'll go back to Dustin again. You'll be able to track all your correspondence here in the middle column, and also anything that they do. So here you see that this particular person filled out a Facebook lead form. Here, let me go to somebody who's a little bit more. Sandy. I just had a conversation with Sandy, so I think there's a lot of interaction. So every time he's gone to one of our web pages, it's tracked. He found us through, it's bottom to top, right? So this is so the last time he visited 22nd was the thank you for scheduling page, which he got after he booked an appointment. And here's all the correspondence in the middle column. And then you got your area to keep notes. So, here's my initial note. You can even set appointments. Very powerful. In this case, the franchise's case, we built a page just for booking appointments with us. That's easy to do. And there's the calendar. This is originating out of IT CRM right here. We're able to pick a date, maybe not. It's coming to the end of the month. There might not be any dates available. So going back here, so that's what you got there. You got your documents. You can store documents here. It's telling me it's a ghost town because we don't have any documents. So in this case, when this gentleman decides to sign an NDA, which I think he did, I'm going to start storing it here. Normally what I've been doing is I've been storing it, in a folder on my OneDrive, and I got to go look for everything. What's really great is everything is here. I can just look at this person. I know exactly what I've done with them, and I have all the documents that I've exchanged with them. And then for you, Alan, the best part, money. What they've paid, and if you send invoices, subscriptions, so membership is a subscription. All of this is managed through here. You can just hit this charge now, and you can actually just put in an amount, $20, describe it, add a new card for that gentleman or for the customer, and boom. So how would that be for you all? I think that would be like, you can be talking to somebody, okay, can I sign you up now? Yes, we can for the upcoming show. Okay, I'm going to charge you credit card. Bam. But it's all
that would be not very useful to us on a day-to-day basis. We don't have that much interaction. I mean, I'm speaking now, Kelly, Sarah, but those features that all of them you just went over, even the tracking of what they do, that would be very minimal of usage for us.
But if they do pay for a membership, the record of that membership being paid would be tracked here.
Okay.
That's what I think would be, because it's all in one organized screen. All right.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
So anything they would do through the website as it stands now, whether they pay for membership or they register for conference and pay, would show up in this database too?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you were saying, like, we have different tags, kind of like how I do my contact list through Gmail. So if there were vendors, we could sort them in a separate spreadsheet. If there were presenters, we could sort them in a separate spreadsheet. So pretty much any form that's currently on our website can be organized and sorted.
Yeah, let me give you
there is just show them the smart list.
Yeah. So
you don't have any smart list here. I think you can log in as Roy. Just log in as Roy and you will get all the smart lists there.
He's managing the smart list for Click Franchise?
I don't think. Just go to the Sugaring Falls. We have a number of smart lists there.
Okay. Yeah.
So our CRM has a special feature here. You can create the smart list. Smart list means the dedicated list of your all the contacts. You can put your, unique contacts to that smart list just to sort it out properly. Yeah, those are the smart list, as you can see.
So legal firms, for instance.
So these contacts are, related to legal things,
Home
home
repair.
and repair maintenance service. So these all leads are, belongs to home repair and maintenance. So you can, segregate your contacts like this by using this smart list feature.
Okay.
Now, say you have a contact, do you have to do that all individually? You put a contact in and you put them, or that contact comes in, you assign them to each list individually?
So we need to follow two steps. Once you import your contacts, you will find that option there. Do you want to create a smart list for these contacts? You can create the smart list there, or you can assign the default smart list. If you created or already created a smart list, you can assign that smart list for those contacts. That's the import procedure. And when we use this CRM for our live website, we can create some automation. Like if someone submitted this particular form, that contact will be automatically added to that particular smart list.
Okay.
So can
Now,
I
what if,
oh, go ahead, Ellen.
what if you have one big list and then members of that list would also be, say we import 9,000 people, but 300 of them are members or they become members? How do you do then? Would you have to go in individually and indicate that they need to be added to a membership list?
There's a few techniques that I would probably suggest. If you have this list of 9,000 people and you know who those people are, and you could add a column called tags, and you just put that in there before you import it into the CRM, then it would automatically put that field, fill that field under tags with whatever you say. So you might say member, current member, just to give you an example. And so when you import it, as long as all those fields are mapped, you'll be able then to, you would have that tag, and then you can create this smart list like what we've done here.
But we don't know that in advance. So really, they would have to be tagged as they come in.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Ellen, don't you download? So you take, like Greg is his own thing, right? Because he sends you a list. So we would have that as a package.
Right,
And we could upload that as like state list.
right.
And then for membership, at some date, wouldn't you just pull that Ninja form information down and upload the group of members as a package?
Yes, it's two separate lists though.
Yeah. How
So,
much can we have? We can have as many lists as we want.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
And then, so then like these lists change over time. So then we could essentially go into the CRM, delete the state list and re-upload a state list, like, because what do we get that, Ellen, like once a year or every 2 years?
I only ask for it every couple years.
Okay.
So,
And so could we essentially wipe out that list and then
It's going to
import?
use two fields to match people. I think we designate that when you're doing an import. It
Okay.
could be last name, phone number. So if they're the same, then it's going to update any fields that have more information in them.
Okay.
It's not going to wipe the person out and re-enter them. Doesn't have to. So it matches based on matching fields. And then any new added record to that list would be added to your CRM. So it's a pretty convenient way of, as long as they're not changing too much the format of that list, I think that'll save a lot of time.
And then it'll drop off people as well as people retire or are no longer. So it'll kind of like, it's smart. So it knows that the new list doesn't have Susie Jones on it. So I'm going to take her off my previous list.
That I would have to look into. I'm not sure if I'm sure there's some kind of functionality we could come up with.
Yeah, what we can do, AL, we can, under opportunities, we can create the stage for that particular thing, you know? These people
Right.
are retiring. So when someone is there on that particular stage, we can create the automation, like just remove those people, remove from the contact,
Okay.
you know? You can have a new stage there. People who are retiring this year or already retired, something like that.
So that's contacts. I have a few more features I want to continue to show you. So let's get back to that. One thing I want to make sure of is that, you know, we don't run out of time here. And do you have till 10 o'clock, Ellen? We had you slated for a half an hour, but I have
I
to.
do. I do.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. We've got time. So the marketing piece. This is probably going to be very useful for you because I'm sure you send out campaigns to advertise maybe an upcoming event. Well, we use this pretty regularly now for the franchise. And Ellen, I don't know if you get to see our newsletters, but we send out newsletters now. So yesterday, as a matter of fact, we happened to send out a newsletter about our CRM. So this is what we have back in information to us regarding how many opens we got, you know, who opened, who clicked. In your case, you might find this useful, who ordered, because you can have an order, who replied. Your hard bounces are very important to clear out if you have any hard bounces. Soft bounces, complains, unsubscribes. So if anybody unsubscribes, we always manage to get a couple of unsubscribers, you know, when we're sending out our newsletters. So really pretty easy to do, to create the newsletter and to send it. There's
Okay. Al, that's a very critical component. Building like the newsletter. What are the features there? Can you have attachments? Can you put in links? Can you build a form that,
So I know you use MailChimp, right? For doing
no, we use Constant Contact.
Okay, I'm familiar with both. I've used Constant Contact. I've used everything, every feature that Constant Contact has the ability to do, you'll have here. So
Okay.
for instance, you got your templates. You can build a new template. So it could be your email template. And let's just do this from email marketing templates. So you can choose a template and use that. Once you build a template, then you can use that same template for every one of your newsletters for consistency. That's the
Right.
purpose of that. So in our case, in our campaigns, so if I choose a new campaign, I have to now choose the template. So in this case, is your phone bill too big? I might choose that template. Here it is. There's the code. And Yash, you do this, not me. So you're better at explaining this than I am.
Basically, see, there are two ways to do this. Either you can use the template builder external service to create templates, or you have a number of options available within the CRM. Choose a template, create a campaign, and just send it out. You know, number of features are available in this campaign functionality here in our CRM.
Let me,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, let me just tell you one thing that I find really exciting from a marketing standpoint. So everything you're doing now currently with Constant Contact, all capable of doing here.
Okay.
One of the things though that I find very exciting here, I'm going to get rid of this because I just created that. So obviously I'm going to delete that. But here, what I find really exciting about the integration aspects of this, because we used to have to jump through so many hoops with like MailChimp and Constant Contact with regard to, okay, what did that person do? It wasn't integrated well with our CRM at the time. And then they tried to get into the CRM business. And unfortunately, MailChimp's really not done a good job with it. They've tried. So here I can do this, right? Load statistics. And in fact, Roy, I mentioned Roy, who's our sales ambassador. This is his job right now. He will go in here and he looks at the clicked people. His job is to call them. So how easy is that to do? Okay, this guy, just Pamela. So Pamela clicked on this newsletter on one of the links, and we can look at exactly what went on. And then by clicking, what I did was I clicked her name, and it's bringing me into her contact card. And from here, I can get her phone number. And now if I want to call her, I click the little phone symbol and call her. And not
And
only
you
that,
will get the dedicated phone number. Yeah. Just show them the,
yeah, we when we set up an account, there is a couple of things that we have to do administratively. We buy the phone number. It is independent of your current phone number, but the public doesn't know it. And I can show you an example. Where are we doing that? We do that probably at Click It Franchise, right?
or porting or
How about the Value Forklift when they're calling Value Forklift? So this is their phone number. But when you hover over it, that's probably when they're going to click on it, it actually calls the tracking number. But I'm not going to get too complex. But what we have to do here is buy you a tracking number, and then we have to do what they call A2P registration, which is basically saying you are who you say you are and that you're not spamming people. It's a process we have to put people through. From that, you get that phone number, and then you are authorized to both text through that phone number and answer phone calls and make phone calls. So it's a really, really great feature. So this is when I'm going to click this, it's actually going to work through that number.
also you can record those conversations as well.
Yeah, the phone calls are recorded. Obviously, this person, all they've been doing is getting newsletters. Not seeing, says lead here, it doesn't say customer. This does also integrate with QuickBooks online. So we use QuickBooks Online for all our accounting, for all our franchises, and it really helps with that. Yeah, this feature that may be a future for you all, which we don't use, but we probably should be using in the future, is this membership feature, which allows you to really keep your memberships. And I'm trying to remember, Yash, do we have any like back-end login features when somebody logs in as a member here?
We do
No.
have that. No?
I don't think so,
Uh,
not on our website. We've
Alright.
always wanted to incorporate that, but we never have, so.
Well, let me give you an illustration if I may. So and again, I'm going to use the franchise as my example. So when we're recruiting a franchisee, they're a prospect, but we have to put them through a series of sharing confidential information with them. And this requires that they have a login, and then we give them different levels of authority to start seeing things. So we have 5 different levels of information in this portal. So we call it a portal. It's a members portal. So this menu looks this way when I'm not logged in. And I'm going to log in as an administrator. When I'm logged in as the administrator, you're going to see everything. You know who uses this really effectively? New Clevelanders.
We are using event calendars there.
Yeah. But same idea is
Yeah.
once they log in, they as members see a different set of information that's only available to the membership. So now all of a sudden you saw the expansion of this menu, because now you as a member are going to be allowed to see certain things that non-members shouldn't see. And then again, the same thing here, they can renew their membership. Same kind of idea, renew your membership and so forth. Now this is they're also using WooCommerce, but we won't get there. Not necessary. That's only because they have luncheons all the time and are constantly adding things. So they just found that this would be a simpler way to go. All right, back to the CRM. There are some really cool features of the future, maybe can be incorporated here. All your media storage, your reputation can be managed too. So reputation in Google's eyes is probably one of the most important aspects of ranking a website over competitors. So it's important to monitor and maintain your reputation. And so this integration allows you to do that quite easily. So down here, you'll see our latest, this is for Click Chagrin Falls reviews. All 5 stars, I might add. And, and these are, you see here, this is a tag. You see the QuickBooks, that means they're a QuickBooks customer. And the other thing we do with this functionality of the CRM, it allows us, when we invoice that customer, they get a text message from us saying, would you review us, please? It really would help us in our small business. And people, oblige. And so that's how we encourage reviews. And it helps improve your rankings. So it's all part of it. Reporting is really pretty cool because if you are doing any sort of advertising, we don't have it integrated here. Where do we have this integrated? Well, probably
Furniture concepts, value forklifts.
I just do furniture concepts, see how it looks. So we manage for several clients pay-per-click advertisements, like for Google ads, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And you can manage all of it right here from one dashboard, which is awesome. So you can look at your clicks, where they clicked. You can even look at your return on investment. So yes, Ellen, probably big overkill, but I just wanted to at least give you the opportunity to see some of these features, right? We even we have the chat engine is really, really an important feature, and that's down here to talk about some of the more complex chats. But the chat engine itself is
How
probably
about the mobile app, Al? Do you guys integrate that into your? I see mobile app down farther on the list. I think you scrolled up, but I saw the mobile app.
Yeah, this is called Lead Connector is our name for it. You download Lead Connector, and then you're able to manage all of your contacts and everything. It's a little different than the web application, the one that's on the browser on your PC.
All right.
Mobile app is going to be a little different, but I use it all the time. It will, when you have it on your phone, when you get like a new prospect or a new member, you have an alert set up so that you get alerted when somebody becomes a new member. It's pretty common for us to set that up. Yeah, very very nicely integrated. It works really well. And I didn't even know we put this in here. Automate, so you can actually, when a new user is added, you can invite them. So pretty cool. Yeah, one thing we won't talk about is really the sites, because the integration allows us to do some things with funnels. You probably are not going to need the complexity of all this. But future, if you do have further things you're going to want to do to help inspire people to join the membership or talk about future events. This allows you to follow up down a string of events that has only to do with that. Not to get too complex, but that it's nice to have. Client portal. The forms is probably something you're going to use the most of, right? Like we talked about.
Right, and then, I mean, once they complete a form, like somebody completes a membership form, then they get some kind of confirmation, that email, or yeah, it would have to be an email, like that they are now a member, and the same thing with the conference, but that includes like the calculations, like you paid this much, or you have paid for liability insurance. And for the conference, it has a bunch of different things. So will this integrate all this information and make it that it goes out in that email?
Yeah, those are in the world of marketing automation. We call those workflows nowadays, right?
Okay,
So you would, we'd help you with it. We could build the workflow and teach you how to do it. But the workflows are over here under automation and
okay.
flow. And you'll see here the chat widget workflow. Here's a good one. This is furniture. Well, let's not do furniture concepts. Let me go into a more common workflow. It might be contact form submission. So somebody just you want to say, thank you for contacting us. We'll be back to you as soon as possible. So contact form submission. That's the trigger. When somebody hits submit and it comes to you, we're going to do an internal notification telling everyone that, hey, here's the contact information somebody has submitted. And you see how this is organized, Ellen? This is your workflow or your flow of
Okay.
information that you're going to send out. You can add a wait in between this. So in this case, we create an opportunity. So we put them into the opportunity list. And then we got another internal notification here. There's probably let me go back here. I'm going to go to something. Your workflows, you'll see how easy they are to create. I do a lot of workflows here. Here, the new lead, where the trigger is coming from biz, buy, sell, different places. These are all the different ways in which we would trigger a series of events. And you can branch the event. If this, then that. So much great logic that you can do. So if they bought the insurance, then you're going to send them this email instead of that email, and so forth.
That would be helpful.
Very powerful, really easy to build these. It's very simple. You just hit this little plus symbol. You go over here and you say, okay, I want to send an email. I hit send email, and then I can either write the email here, and I can use the tags. So I might say, dear, and if I go to tag, I go contact, I go full name, comma, blah, blah. Right?
Now, does that give you the ability to make, like, say, then after, like a certificate of attendance, can you make it look nice? Can you make it like that the certificate of attendance is in bold and bigger, and then
Now, you wouldn't necessarily do it at this level, because what we do a lot is we'll choose a template. So I might choose a template. So look, if I choose that, you see how that already has the logo and it's sort of formatted. You don't really see the format unless you do a test email.
okay,
But where you do see the formatting is if you go back here, and where you build your templates is under marketing, under template snippets. So this is where all our templates are. So
okay,
I always have a basic template just for email, because I just want to have a logo and some basic stuff. So I may just use that template when I'm sending it out. generally to somebody. But notification of new lead, thank you for your interest and click it. So yeah, it's all formatted. You write it here. This is the way it looks on mobile. You save it. You can test it, and so forth. So yeah. So the last thing I want to show you, and we're running out of time. Last thing I want to show you is the chat engine, because people today need multiple ways to communicate. And a lot of people, being of the McDonald's generation, I will call us, need instant gratification. So they want an answer and they want it now and they want to talk to somebody. They don't want to necessarily pick up a phone either. So chat, sometimes they will, right? But chat is very important in today's correspondence with customers. And so we use this very effectively. So the chat engine is very easy to manage. It's under sites, under chat widget. So you go here and we have Alex. There's a picture of Alex there. And so we build this intro. Hi there. Have a question? Text us here. You know, welcome back. This is if they're, now that's enabled by cookies, right? So that if somebody's been to your site before it knows who you are, it says welcome back. There's different ways you can do chat. You can actually do live chat so that you all would be notified when somebody's sent a chat, and then you would have to use either your app on your phone to correspond with them, or you would simply go to your PC and work that way. And then, you know, we have just, but this is all a part of, this is a feature that's very useful. Okay, so we have Alex in a lot of places. We have them, I'll go click it. Do we have them at Click It Computers? Probably. But everybody gets chat engines typically.
But Al, how is that maintained? I mean, I know the chats that I do, they usually, I mean, we are going to have two people who are busy all day long. Do I mean you could only chat in the evening, and even that's going to be limited. So I can't see that the chat is going to be very beneficial for us, because it's just something that has to be maintained. Even me, if I were still here, I don't sit and, I mean, I wouldn't be available all the time. These are more for like stores.
Well, like I said, you have two options. You have the live chat, which would require somebody to be available all the time. Or you do it like we do here, where we just, you know, say, hey, what's your question? We'll get, and then after I submit this and send, it says, hey, give us a chance. Thank you. One of our representatives will be contacting you shortly. Okay, that's the one that we put out. You can say just about anything. We have Eliza Jennings has sort of an interesting one, don't they, Yash?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eliza Jennings. So we have this customer that has 5 facilities. You know, same kind of look and feel, but they're very particular. They get a lot of people who are contacting their HR department through this chat engine. So it's like, don't do that. But yeah, so I go here. Yeah, the pretty much same kind of basic message, but it does say, hey, you also feel free to call us, and it gives the main campus number. So, and they have 5 websites. So you can just imagine every one of these facilities they have has a different phone number and a different message. So that's the beauty of that. Okay, so features, pretty well covered them. There's a lot here. There's a lot of capabilities, but the main thing I think for you all would be that we move the contacts over to it. You would then be able to feed through the forms of the future being filled out into the CRM. I'd probably propose that we just build the Zaps for you and keep the Ninja forms the same. Don't make any changes. But as you start to use this more and more, you'll find, why don't we do it this way? And that was sort of our idea.
Sounds good. One quick question, Al, and I think when you were clicking on templates, that you can build a template within the CRM or you can also upload. And so does that accept files from, we use Canva a lot?
Yeah, we use
Okay.
Canva too.
You need to get the HTML code. You will get the HTML code from Canva and you
Uh-huh.
can upload it here. Just copy that, paste it here, and you will be in a good shape.
Okay. Okay. And then,
Actually, we have a dedicated software to, design our templates. We have a team of designer who design our email newsletters. So we are using some external softwares to, design our newsletters. So we are doing the same. We are getting the HTML code from those external services and put
Okay.
it in our CRM.
okay. So really our two immediate needs right now would be manning the phone number. So going through that A2P process, and you said you have to purchase the number and get that all set up. And then the second one is managing the emails, like essentially, because we're looking at, if we move into something like this, we're looking at getting rid of constant contact. So those are our two immediate needs. And there's a lot of other things we could do here, but if we needed to cover those two bases right now.
So ADP brand and campaign registration. So this gives a lot of information. And when I do provide you with the quotation, it will also give you this link.
Okay.
Because
Can you put that all together for us so that like because I hear you saying integration fees, initiation fee, like, can
it's
you,
about a $400 integration fee.
yeah, so can you get that all together in one spot? Because we're not gonna know on your store, oh, we've got to add integration and we've got to add enrollment and all that.
we
No,
will
no,
send
I
you
want to
the-
give you a formal.
Yes,
proposal.
please.
And Al, how much of that includes training? How much training goes along with this? Because training is a critical component when you're just learning something new. So,
No doubt. So under support here, we have some lessons that we give as examples, but we have a whole help area, help login with videos and information. But we'll give you a good hour or two of this kind of once we set it all up to go through this with you, we'll design that into the proposal I'm going to give you so that you get full training and we can film it and then you have it forever.
That would be great.
All right. So
Thank
You
you.
guys just need to provide us the list of forms you want to integrate with the CRM. How many forms you have to, you need to
maybe we'll
configure.
just do it on a per form
Because
basis. Josh.
as I know, the back end of Ninja form, you guys have lots of forms there.
right.
So we need to decide like how many forms we need to configure with the CRM.
Okay. All right, so we need to figure that out.
Yeah. Also, if some forms are not necessary there on your website, you can just remove those forms if you don't want that, because you have a duplicated version of your, updated recent forms. So
Okay.
you can duplicate that forms for your next year's, new
Okay.
features.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Very
Thank you so
good. Have a great weekend, everyone. You'll have
right,
something from
thanks.
us by Monday.
All right. Thank you.